What brand of underwear do scientists wear? Kelvin Klein. What's going on, YouTube? We're inside Apocrypha, specifically inside the Infinite Archive, with Filer Ul to go over our weekly reset vendors. These reset every Tuesday at 10 a.m., and they run for exactly 1 week and reset again Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's see what we've got this week. And to start us out, we have... It's here. I've looked for you for so long. I would have moved mountains to get you. Oh. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We have the rarest mythic in the game that I have been desperately trying to get my hands on. I farmed for this lead for 12 hours this weekend, and I did not get a single one of them. And that is the Meteoric Iron Trichitria, but it is from the Torque of the Last Alien King. And this is what it does. Reduces your damage taken by 15%, adds 1337 weapon and spell damage, 500 magicka and stamina recovery, but it disables all other item set bonuses. You can still get your light, medium, and heavy bonuses and those types of bonuses, but you do not get your 5-piece set bonuses. I have wanted this mythic for forever. I have grinded for this mythic. It requires you to get you have to pick up chests from the end of the Infinite Archive rounds, and it is so tedious to try to get these, and I have not gotten a single one. But this week, I will finally have one of the 5 components of this mythic, and this is a fantastic mythic, and let's talk about the couple reasons why. Firstly, this mythic is always going to be good. You're never going to have to update your sets and things with it, because guess what? New 5-piece set comes out, you're chilling. Nobody cares because you got Torque of the Last Alien King. It just matters whether you're wearing light, medium, heavy armor. And, that's the real considerations that you need to take into consideration. You don't have to worry about farming dungeons or trials or overland content to get new sets. You can just slap this bad boy on. The other consideration, too, is this is an exceptionally rare mythic, meaning that it's likely not going to get nerfed because nobody is out there abusing it because nobody has it. So that's the beautiful thing about using super rare mythics that can't be abused very easily, and it's a PvP mythic too, realistically, and PvP mythics have been known to be busted significantly longer than PvE ones. Thracian Stranglers were nerfed right away. Most PvP mythics have never been nerfed ever, regardless of how good they are. So this is a fantabulous mythic to get. I hope that they fix the drop rate for the rest of the pieces, but this is definitely, in my opinion, a must-have if you're trying to get it. This will save you significant grinding in the Infinite Archive. And as a PvP player, I don't want to be in the Infinite Archive. And moving right along, next we have the Petrified Tree Bark Tablet. This is also a really annoying one that gives you access to like a really tree-esque looking skin. You literally just look like a Spriggan that's green. But what you have to do to get this is Galen treasure maps. Galen treasure maps are exceptionally expensive, so if you really wanted to try to save yourself some gold, potentially you buy this mythic, but it just depends on, the market, how many treasure maps of Galen you have, and so on and so forth. Next up is Earthgore, which you can see rightly here on my shoulder, and you can see this is usually a decently expensive shoulder. This was listed 14 hours ago, about 2 million gold, so if you want to save yourself some money, maybe you look at buying this, but I've just never thought about buying styles realistically with these, because overall, I think, yes, this looks pretty cool, but you could just wait until the Undaunted Celebration event. You could buy it with gold versus Archival Fortunes, because this is the equivalent of 3 mythics. This lead alone could save you 20 hours of grinding, because I've literally farmed the Infinite Archive now for like 25 hours, and I've gotten 0 of these leads. So then you look at that, this is 3 times more expensive. So you're going to have to kind of factor those things into account, but overall, I think that it's not a terrible use of your resources if you want to get the Earthgore shoulder. Next up, we have a Western Skyrim treasure maps, which are actually just below the market value that we would need to see for it to be a good, viable gold method versus using the provisioning satchels. So I think overall, just because it's below that median line that reset, we do have to say that it's just generally not worth it. I think if there's definitely worse things that you could purchase if you had some specific lead that dropped only from Western Skyrim treasure maps, certainly a feasible way to get it now, but overall, you could skip these. Same with light armor. I think overall light armor is not terrible. I do think that there's quite a few healers that you could build in, but 5,000 archival fortunes is a pretty significant amount of money, especially when you consider last week we had some really good treasure maps. This is over 2 treasure maps worth of value that you need to be receiving. 2.5 basically of what you need to be receiving, and there's a very good chance that you get a trait that's just absolutely hot garbage. I honestly think that when they do these vendors for the Tuesday one, if it's light armor, they should guarantee you it's got a healing trait. That's just me, but we'll see, if they ever tweak it. Next up, we have fragments, and all of these things are just easy skips. You don't need to buy any fragments. I swear to God, if any of you buy something that you can pick up from a public dungeon for 7,000 archival fortunes, I will cry. I used to say I'll hit you with a pool noodle. That doesn't always seem to work. I will cry on stream for your archival fortunes that have gone to waste. And to round us off, we have our scripts, which most of you probably have because Mid-Year Mayhem, everybody was getting tons of these. Most of these are easy skips anyway, and then we finish off with just stuff that you're going to pick up super easily. Let's go to our actual script vendor, which usually is better money for value because it takes gold and not archival fortunes. Archival fortunes, to me, are such a premier resource. The whole bottom half of it is just not even worth considering 90% of the time. And now inside of the Scholarium, which is just a beautiful word, we have our second vendor here that resets every Tuesday. And we always go down to the scripts. This one actually has one that I need, which is Force. I do want to also take this time to remind everybody that if you're doing specific types of content, Undaunted dailies, Mages Guild dailies, Fighters Guild dailies, PvP, you're probably getting a good amount of scripts depending on where they drop from. I do very specific types of content, and sometimes that causes me to not get certain types of scripts. You do certain types of content, and that's going to cause you to not get certain types of scripts. So overall, sometimes I think it's definitely worth buying some of these, and if you do all types of content, you'll probably never need to buy any of them anyway. Force is just a pretty good one to have, and it's not one that dropped for me for any of my type of content playing, so I'll probably pick this up when I clear out some inventory slots. Then we also have Immobilize, which can be great, because I believe if you don't PvP, it can be really hard to get Immobilize. 8,000 gold is potentially worth it for you if you do not have access to it already. And then Wayfarer's Mastery is very unique. I think this is one of the ones that needs a bit more experimentation. I would say, though, that you probably can get this one by the time it's any good. Wayfarer's Mastery, to me, seems like a script that by the time people have figured it out, you won't need to worry about it anymore. This one comes from World Bosses, Daily Cyrodiil Quests, and Fighters Guild Quests, so it's not one that you're normally going to see. And if you think about that, maybe you want to pick it up now, but it's just so niche right now. But if there was a script right now that you said, Jake, which one do you think is going to be really good when people figure out its best utilization? I would say Wayfarer's Mastery. But overall right now, it's certainly not necessary. But 60,000 gold to you might just be a drop in the bucket. So from that aspect, it might be worth getting just to have it. But everyone, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. We recorded this over our lunch period, so I'm very curious to see what you guys think throughout the rest of the day. I will say, though, that I do stand by the statement. I think this is the rarest mythic that you could get. It's the hardest to farm. It's still got good utilization. And overall, if you were to take the time it takes to get every mythic, I guarantee you this one will be at the top. But if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong, because if there's a mythic that's worse, Lord in Heavens, probably nobody has it. And as always, we're doing our 3 giveaway drawings. All you need to do to enter is leave a comment in the comments below. Tell me what you think is the most annoying mythic to farm, / which one was the worst for you to get. For me, ironically, the longest one that it took for me to farm was the Oakensoul ring. Thankfully, every other mythic that I've wanted, besides the one that I currently don't have right now, which is the Twerk of the Alien King, I've been able to get in a reasonable amount of time, except for the Oakensoul on day 1, because if you were there, you remember. Second thing is just be subscribed for 2 additional entries. All you need to do is just follow on Twitch and Twitter. Every single one of those follows will give you an entry. And the third thing is look for a hidden word to be flashed upon the screen. If you're the first person to comment that word, you will win. Thank you guys so much again for watching, and I'll catch you later. Bye, guys.
You better remember to like and subscribe to Jakeclips. Or you should. I might have to pluck your eyes if you don't. Or, better yet, I'll skip rope with your entrails. Do it now. Subscribe. Ta-ta. Off with you.